Hello, everybody. Today we're going to talk about a very interesting topic, common mistakes in the English language. We need to know about this topic so that we are aware about this topic. We also need to know about this topic so that we know what mistakes we are making and we can learn from the mistakes. Also, we will talk about how to improve ourselves while speaking the English language. Abhilasha, would you like to start?
Yeah, sure, Nirupama. Thank you so much. So, today's topic is something most learners never hear about in class or textbook. And that's the real mistakes English learners make. Not just in grammar, but in how they think, learn, speak, and even listen. So, let's break down the 7 silent mistakes that may be slowing the learners down and how to fix them. The
Sure.
first mistake is translating everything from our native language. Well, this is something we all have done, and that is the number one hidden habit. We think in our native language, translate it, and then speak in English. But English doesn't always work like our mother tongue. It causes awkward phrases like, he makes a party, instead, which should have been, he chose a party. So, you might be thinking how to fix that. And here it is. Start learning phrases, not just words. Train your brain to think in English. Start small, like describing your day in English inside your head. So, Nirupama, do you have anything else to say about it?
Yes, I would like to add something here, Vilasha. Like you said, translating it from your native language to the English language causes a lot of confusion, and sometimes that can make it difficult to understand the language. So,
Yes.
avoid translating it is a better idea. What do you think?
Yes, that's totally true. And one more thing that they face while speaking the language, and that is, I think, in the grammar part. What do you think?
Yes, absolutely. Uh, Another point that we can talk about is using difficult words incorrectly.
Yes, yes,
So, for example, instead of saying I'm a catastrophe, it is a catastrophe.
yes.
Catastrophe is an event that causes a disaster. An individual cannot be called a disaster. Therefore, you're using a difficult word in a wrong situation. So, this can be avoided if research is done on it better and understanding of it is done better.
Yes, totally. You are totally right with that, Nirupama. And we can fix it with just using simple and correct words. Master the basics. That's what it will help. Precision is better than decoration. Don't you think, Nirupama?
Absolutely, Abhilasha. I agree with you on that.
Yes. So, one more mistake that learners make while speaking the language is ignoring pronunciation. Some learners focus only on grammar. They might be very well known with the grammar rules and vocabulary, but they ignore the pronunciations. That's like writing a beautiful song and singing it off key. Saying, for example, saying tree like tree, saying what like bucket. So we should always focus on rhythm, stress, and weak form in sentences. And we could fix this with just one simple thing, and that is try to shadow native speakers. Use apps or YouTube to mimic annotation, record, and compare your voice. That's how you can solve this small mistake. What do you think, Nirupama? Do you have any insights about it?
Yes, I think pronunciation is a key important role in speaking English. Listening to the words and sounds attentively is very important. Therefore, giving a lot more effort into listening to the sounds and pronunciation of words is very important.
Yes. So another mistake that we have noticed that learners always make, and that is the fear of making mistakes itself. What do you think? Why they do this? And why
Yes,
does it happen?
yes, absolutely, Abhilasha. So before they say the word out aloud, there's always a doubt of speaking the word out aloud. And therefore, they have this fear of making a mistake. This usually happens because the individual is not familiar with the word and he's not looked into the research part of it. Therefore, if we do a lot of research and homework on it, this can be avoided and this fear can also be eradicated.
Yes. And the fifth mistake that we all have made that at least once in our life, and that is saying, I did not knew. So we might say that I did not knew about it, which is totally incorrect. The correct form will be I did not know about it. It matters because in English, when we use did in a sentence, it already carries the past tense. That means the main verb should stay in its base form, not the past form. This is called avoiding double past marking. Using both did and knew is incorrect because it repeats the past tense unnecessarily. So we could fix it again with one small tip, and that is remember did plus base form. That's the formula to it. Did plus base form, not past form. For example, I did not went will be wrong, and the correct form will be I did not go. So, Nirupama, do you think there's anything else that people make mistake while speaking the English language?
Yes, right. You said with this point, saying the correct tense is very important. Using the correct tense in the correct form is very important. Not mixing up the past and present and future tense is also very important to
Yes.
keep in mind.
Yes, totally, totally. So there's one more thing that I would like to point out, and that is prepositions. Learners always forget about prepositions and they tend to use the wrong prepositions instead. For example, instead of saying I am good at English, they might say I am good in English, which is again wrong. And you might think that why does it matters? Why preposition matters so much? We already know the grammar rules. We already know vocabulary. We have a good whole about this language, but then again, preposition do matters. And that is because prepositions in English often don't follow logical rules and don't translate directly from other languages. That's why learners often choose the wrong ones. But do remember, native speakers will notice it instantly. Some verbs, adjectives, and expressions are fixed with certain prepositions. These combinations are called collocations, and using the wrong preposition will make you sound unnatural or maybe sometimes unprofessional. So, how we can fix this? Here's a tip from my side. The best strategy is to learn phrases as full units, not just individual words. And what do you think, Nirupama? Do people make mistake in grammar too?
Yes, studying grammar, not usage. Basically, knowing just the basics of grammar is not enough. Using it in the correct form is a more important key role in this language of English. Basically, when you use grammar, you have to think before you use the correct grammar. So again, if we do a lot of research and homework on what kind of grammar we need to be careful with and what kind of grammar we need to use in what situation, that will make your English language better. So using grammar just with the basics is not enough. Let's start by doing more, listening more, and paying attention more to grammar.
Yes, yes. And some learners have a very good hold over the grammar rules. They have the correct knowledge about grammar, but they don't use it in real conversation. And that's where they make the mistake. They should always use this in real conversation while conversing with others. That's how you will learn things. Knowing rules is not the same as using them. Remember this, learners.
Yes.
And the last mistake for today that I would like to pointing out, but I would like the learners to know so that it's helpful for them, is not reviewing what they have learned. Every day we learn so many things in our lives. It's like learning new words, new vocabulary, new rules, but then again, they don't review it always. We often keep learning new things but forget yesterday's ones. So remember, language sticks through repetition, not just exposure. So we could fix this by reviewing regularly. Use spaced repetition, or maybe flashcard, or teach someone else what you have learned. So, Nirupama, do you have anything else to add here?
Yes, Abhilasha, I would like to add something here. So basically, when there is a lag or a gap in learning, when it comes to consistency, then you feel that you're getting out of touch with the language. Therefore, consistency is key. By not keeping a gap, you can learn the language better and you won't feel like you're going back to square one. So, keeping a
Totally.
consistency in learning the language and making sure that you're keeping a check on your regular day of learning the language is very important. So consistency is
Yes.
key.
Yes, I do tell this to all my learners that yes, consistency is the key. If you are learning something today, do practice it. Don't just learn, use it in real life conversations. That's how people will learn. So now let's give a quick recap of the 7 real mistakes that we tend to make while speaking the language. Should we, Nirupama?
Sure, Abhilasha.
The first is translating directly from our native language. Yes, you can translate directly from your native language, but then again, do keep this in mind. Not always it will be correct. So, first know what you are translating, the meaning behind it, and then use it. The second is using difficult words incorrectly. Using fancy words might be a plus point for you, but it might be a negative point again if you don't know the real meaning behind it. First learn and then use it. The third is ignoring pronunciation. Grammar is important. Learning new vocabulary is important. But with that, pronunciation is also important. Another one is being afraid of making mistakes. That's the main thing that's stopping you from learning this language. Don't be afraid of making mistakes. That's how we all learn. Another point that I would like to mention is saying, I did not knew. Don't worry, we all were there at least once. We all have used it, but do learn from it. It's never I did not knew. One more point that I would like to mention here is using the wrong preposition. Along with pronunciation, preposition is also important. Another point that I would like to mention here is studying grammar, not usage. Yes, studying grammar is important, but you should also know how to use it in your real life conversations. That's how you will get exposure. The seventh one for today is not reviewing regularly. Learn new things, but then again, review the things that you have learned in the past. That's how you will learn. So, Nirupama, what do you think about the recap? Have I added all the points?
Yes, Abhilasha, to the T. I think the learners will learn a lot from this video and they will get some new information on some tips and solutions that we have mentioned and the information that we've given today in our session.
Yes, I do hope this video opened their eyes to something new. Remember, learners, learning English isn't about being perfect. It's about building the right habits. Let me know in the comment section which mistake you have made and what you will change from today. And don't forget to subscribe for more such real English advice and videos that really works. See you in the next video. Bye-bye till then. Bye, Nirupama.
Bye, Abhilasha. Thank you.
Thank you.